What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 31 of Procedurally Generated, the show about the random history of video games.
What's up?
I don't know. You made me do that. I reacted by just repeating it.
We grew up in that age.
Man, that Budweiser commercial should not be that top of mind. I'm embarrassed.
Buried in your DNA.
It's November 9th. It's November. It's been November. It was November our last show, but I'm still shocked that it's November.
It's still November. Is this our 1 year show? Was the last one our 1 year show?
Oh, fair question. We should
either way.
Yeah.
Hey,
we
made
did it. It's all thanks to Courtney.
It is.
No, I didn't do anything.
All the money you gave us throughout the year.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Totally me.
Went
That's
to
right.
buying both of you microphones at different points, I guess.
It bought me 2 microphones, and you got a hand-me-down.
Yeah, and it's lovely.
Mm-hmm. This is that's right. If you guys are impressed with our audio, that's because 2/3 of us are using new and slightly used mics.
And if you're not impressed, it's because I messed it up in post-production.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Way to just take that one, John.
I will. Hey, no shame.
That's right. So I've upgraded to the same mic that John uses, the Shure SM7B. I think I said that right. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
And Courtney is now rocking my old Blue Yeti with the chaotic eyeball, taking over her whole face.
It's as big as my face.
It's like a small planet. Oh,
Jinx.
We did the planet thing at the same time. You guys did your exasperated size earlier,
and
now we've connected on planets. That's
now we need
full
to figure
circle.
out what you two connect on.
Ooh,
life. Oh gosh, I thought you were going to say it.
I was late. I was just repeating
I'll splice it in.
Yeah. Life. Oh,
John can fix that.
Even walked her into it, and she still didn't do it. Unbelievable.
I know. I'm slow.
It's not life, is what you're saying.
No, I guess
it's not life.
It's clearly not the answer. How about 10 and
Nope.
All right.
Nope. We'll workshop this.
Let's move on.
I was not participating in that one.
Yeah, nothing about this is working.
No.
We have. Oh, that's it. We'll figure it out. Maybe in person and come to next week's show with a more prepared answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
next week we'll
buddies.
be saying everything in sync.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. Well,
what a week.
What a week indeed. John, tell me about your week.
Oh, hey.
What about your week?
Oh, geez. Let's see here. Last weekend was our big 25-hour Extra Life Marathon with Game Informer, MinMax, and Easy Allies, where we were raising money for the Gillette Children's Hospital in St. Paul, Minnesota. And our goal was to reach about $50,000, and we reached about $50,000. So
congratulations!
Really
monster accomplishment.
Yep, all thanks to our communities. They really pulled through, and they're getting some cool things to those kids. So
very cool.
That's always good. Had a great time there. I won a trivia contest between myself, Ben Hansen of MinMax, and Isla from Easy Allies. Was crashing and burning immediately, and then our host
were they asking
decided,
you Konami questions?
No, is so the first round.
We went over this.
We tested you. The first round was 2 games that were like connected by one word. So like it would be you would go from like one game directly into another. So they would give a hint like something. I can't remember what the exact first hint was, but it was
I'm really going to need you to find a good example because I want to participate.
So
yeah.
all right. It was like get 3 of your friends together in a group to fight a zombie horde in this eldritch horror action game, or like something like it would just like connect those 2 games within the clue as well. So you have to get 3 of your friends together to fight against zombie hordes.
Is it back for Bloodborne?
It is back for Bloodborne. That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
All right.
So
you were explaining it, and I'm like, I think I've heard this
it's-
used somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's like connecting those two things. So I was crashing and burning like super early. Ben was asking if I wanted to switch out for Marcus, who had won the Trivia Tower All Stars like a week before. And I'm like, nah, I'll stay in. And our host doubled the points because myself and Isla were not getting anything, and Ben was just running away with it. We ended up tying that round, Ben and I. And then the second round was, what was round 2? Round 3 was back of the box trivia.
Oh yeah, always a good time.
Yeah, so you have to like name whatever the game is just by them reading what the description is on the back of a game box. Where they
games used to come in boxes. Everybody,
Yes.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
What?
Yeah, you before you could buy them on the internet, they came in actual packaging. It's crazy stuff.
I should mention our host for that segment was Bob Buell, who's a MinMax community member, I believe a Game Informer community member as well. But he also has a podcast called 99 Questions, which is kind of like the way that Ben was describing it was kind of like the rapid fire interviews that Game Informer does, like quick, easy answers that whoever he's interviewing that week, it's just a bunch of questions and a bunch of quick answers. So Bob was incredible. He's a great host, very fun, funny. Go check out his podcast, 99 Questions. Yeah, that was a really fun segment. I didn't think I was gonna end up winning that whole thing, but I did, which was great. Had some really clutch questions and answers. So
we're hanging out with a winner.
Yes, I am the top trivia person in all of video games right now.
Well done. That actually makes me the only person of the three of us who has yet to win a trivia related thing. You guys have each won.
Oh,
you're right. We need to.
Why am I such a big dumb? Unbelievable.
It's opportunity.
Don't know that
you just
yet.
haven't had the opportunity.
That's true.
We haven't figured it out.
I know. Speaking of which, there may be an opportunity for one of you to be a trivia champion again tonight.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
We're doing it again.
I'm primed. Let's go.
I'm not ready for this. I haven't trained.
This will be fun. I'm excited.
And then we did a really weird Yu-Gi-Oh segment later in the night. Go watch it. It was just a very odd segment. Apparently people liked it. It was weird doing it in person because it was like this weird hybrid thing where I went over to our video producer Alex Stadnick's place and like sitting on his couch. We had like 4 of us hanging out there, but also we had Marcus virtually through Discord at his place in Florida, and then Dan Tack virtually from his place in Minnesota. And we didn't have a monitor in front of us to see like the other people on the call. So it's very disjointed to me, and I'm trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh on Switch, and very, very odd. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. The MinMax community has been kind of pointing towards that as one of the clips that people should go watch. They're like, it was weird, but I liked it.
Is there a full it's 25 hours, so that's a big.
25 hours.
Is there a full VOD available for can you share it in the Discord for everybody in the PG community to go check out?
So there's both on MinMax's YouTube and on Game Informer's YouTube. There's there are 3 parts, so it's 8-hour chunks, or 9, I guess, for one of them. So the first 8 hours is hosted by Ben Hansen, and everything was virtual for that. And then the second chunk was hosted by the Alexes, Alex Van Aken and Alex Stadnick from Alex Stadnick's place. And we did a hybrid of virtual and in person. I went over there for a couple of hours. It was good to see everyone there. And then the final chunk was at Ben Hansen's place for like a final like MinMax / old GI people. So like he had Ben Reeves there, who's current GI, but he had Joe Juba, Jeff Cork, Leo Vader, just an older Game Informer crew or like Extra Life crew.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was neat. So
nice. So
That's
Extra
it.
Life. What
Extra
else?
Life, and then Final Fantasy 14 till the end of my life.
Till the end walker of
Is
your
how it's
life.
working. The end walker of my life. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to that game. Well, it was going to be the week of Thanksgiving that it was going to launch, and then they delayed it by 2 weeks, and that made me cheer very loudly. I was so excited. But yeah, I'm basically playing that. I played a little bit of Call of Duty Vanguard this morning. I played some of the campaign. That seems all right. It looks really good. It's a good ass looking game. Very pretty. Like story beat wise, you could tell someone watched Inglourious Bastards before writing that thing. There's like a German officer who's very much like Christoph Waltz's character in Inglourious Bastards, just like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and like talk to you casually about everything that's happening, even though like I have you prisoner and could kill you at any moment. And then there's like right after that, you're in somebody's basement and people are like shooting through the floorboards. So there's a lot of like very Inglourious Bastards scenes very early on in that game. But
nice.
I don't know how to feel about it yet.
Okay. I wasn't going to get it. And then while what were we doing? We were doing something this weekend. I had people, we had some community people actually come this week. It surprised me, which was awesome. It was super fun. But at some point, one of the things that we were doing, I got an alert on my phone and it said Call of Duty Vanguard ready to install. And I'm like, I'm not at home.
Oh,
Kate?
Did Kate buy Call of Duty?
Yep, Kate bought it. And then it was
Nice.
like Call of Duty
Kate.
Vanguard DLC ready to install. I'm like, what's going on?
The Kate of Duty.
So,
Kate of Duty.
yes, I guess I am now an owner of that game, so I will play it.
Hey,
I will
me
check out-
too. So maybe we should zombies sometime.
We maybe.
It's a roguelike now.
Is it? Okay.
It's a dub car now.
All right. If it's a dub car, all right. Maybe. I don't like this. I've never liked the zombies modes,
But it's
I'm
it's
hearing a
different from what I
community
hear.
game right now.
but I will try it.
Maybe. Speaking of community games, they released a really big update to Among Us today. I don't know if you saw it, like with like leveling up and getting new items and like a shop and
New operators or new not operators, new roles or
the
something.
new roles. Yeah, there's like a scientist, so you can see people's vital signs wherever you are. So you don't even need to see a body to know if somebody's dead. If you're an imposter, you could be a changeling or like a shapeshifter, I think is what it's called. And so you can kill somebody and then shapeshift into them, so you can walk around and people could see like, oh, this person, I saw Pink walking around. Why is Pink dead here? Who was the shapeshifter? Like, it adds another layer of stuff there. There's the engineer who is a regular crew member, but can go through the vents, which is a very interesting twist. I think there's the guardian angel too. So there's if you're dead, you can actually stop people from being killed. Like you can give them a shield so they can't be assassinated for like one time, which is kind of neat. But yeah, lots of like battle passy update stuff for that game. I don't know.
Cool.
Seems all right.
There you go, Among Us fans.
It's Among Us. Hey,
not me.
It got me kind of interested to maybe jump back in to see what that looked like, but
well, good.
Yeah. That's it for me, I think. Did I play anything else? Yu-Gi-Oh! Played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Final Fantasy. No, that's it.
You played a little bit of a game that I'm going to be talking about.
Oh, excuse me. I played Forza. I played Forza Horizon 5, which Chris will talk about more.
I will talk a lot. I won't talk a lot. I've got opinions.
Okay, good.
Courtney.
Yes.
Before we get to my opinions, let's share your opinions. How was your week?
Well, my week was pretty good. It wasn't spent playing a lot of games because, we had other activities going on.
You know who else played Forza?
I was going to say it's on my list too. I got to play it on Chris's machine.
That's true.
And I got to drive Chris's car.
Well. She did.
No, that's a lie. That's a total lie.
Yeah, no, she didn't do very well. But here's why. I only had a few cars available at this time, and she's like, I want to use the orange one. Okay. Well, this is an off-road race, and the orange one is like a Corvette. You sure you want to do that? Yeah, use the orange one. It went as you would
Yes.
expect. A lot of
I'm like a
spinning out.
5-year-old
Yeah,
playing games.
that's
Yeah.
what I
Give me
do
the orange
too.
car.
A lot
Yeah,
of
give me-
cars not going places. It was.
Give me
you know what?
that
Bless her
sports
heart,
car.
she tried.
Get me off road. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to try to climb this hill.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Is it-
I really liked it. And I said, like,
Okay.
I probably driving games would generally not interest me very much.
Yeah.
But I really liked that one. I would sink some hours into that.
And
Perfect.
you have Game Pass, so you can download
And
it
I
and
have
play it
Game
for
Pass.
free
There
now.
you
'cause
go.
It's out
That's
today.
all true.
You have the
Yeah.
ability to sync hours.
I
Sync
might
it.
just do that.
Nice. That
But I
makes
did
me
get
so
in a
happy.
tiny bit of Fortnite, and I got in a tiny bit of Vanguard. Except I was doing the multiplayer and not the campaign.
What do you think of multiplayer so far?
So I really liked multiplayer. The parts that frustrate me are the parts that frustrated me with Cold War, just in that I don't know the map. You're giving me a gun that has nothing on it. It hasn't been leveled up, and it feels like crap when I fire it. So there's
Mhm.
like the basic annoyances that are like, that's on me. That's not the game.
And it's temporary,
it's a
right?
little-
You level
Yeah.
up the
It's-
gun, you
it's
get the
temporary.
upgrades, and then you're fine. It's just the beginning grind.
It's the beginning grind that I hate. I hate not
Yep.
knowing the maps and where people could potentially be hiding. And then all of a sudden I'm dead and I'm like, I don't know where that came from.
Oh, campers.
Is it weird
Campers.
that there's like red dot sites in a World War II game?
I don't know when that technology came around, but it seems like every Call of Duty game has had some
There are
reference.
guns that I've picked up where it's like, it's not a red dot, but it's like a little yellow dot in like
Yeah,
in a site. I don't know what it is,
that
but
was before the color red came out.
yeah, that's it. Everything
yeah.
was black and white back then.
Mhm. And yellow, apparently.
And everyone
Yellow.
talks like this. Oh gosh, what was I going to say? Oh, just a question about like the menus in that game. So I booted it up on Xbox, and it brought me to like a screen that had 4 different Call of Duty experiences on it.
Yeah.
So it had Vanguard, it had Warzone, but it also had Cold War, and it had Black Ops 3. No, not Black Ops 3. Modern Warfare. But it had like 4 different specific games on like the front.
I know the screen you're
splash
talking
page.
about, and I totally didn't look. Like, all I saw was, Vanguard, start it now.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the other things.
What are you playing on?
Series X.
Okay.
And I
It
I
totally
only
sounds like a PC
downloaded
launcher,
Vanguard,
but-
which is really, really odd.
Yeah, that's goofy. I don't know what that would be.
And I think they might all be installed. I'm gonna have to like look into it more. So let's just,
So
if
did
they're
you-
all
did you play
installed, you don't
multiplayer?
have your hard drive is
Yeah.
toast.
yeah. It's. I mean, they might be. Who knows? Who knows?
Did you do any multiplayer, or did you just do campaign?
I just did campaign. So one of our person who reviewed it, Dan Tack, said that he didn't like the campaign like at all. He said it was like really boring, and like just super lackluster. And Blake Hester, who we talked about last week for the BMX XXX segment, he was saying, he's like, I don't know why, but I think I really like the campaign. And I'm like, Blake, I'm gonna boot up that campaign. I want to see what you're seeing here, because Blake, I think Blake's like more into like art house films and stuff. So like he has a very different perspective from Dan on what he would like. So sometimes I feel like I relate more with Blake on those things than other people on staff. So I wanted to boot it up and check it out. But
Okay. That's,
Yeah.
And that's right there. That's part of, what people need to do when they look at review scores and things like that. You need to find the things that speak to you and align with your thoughts and views. And you did that.
I did. I
Yeah,
did it.
I love that, because I get real tired of the criticisms that journalists get,
Yeah.
reviewers get, for rating a game and their opinions on games and stuff like that. And that's a good example of what you need to do. You need to find somebody who has the same thoughts, not same thoughts, but the same likes and dislikes and all that stuff. And that's who you need to cling on to as a reviewer if you want to use reviews.
Right. And also just realize that everyone has different opinions on these things and have different feelings, and look around and find different reviews and options for different products and see what you might like, or like see what lines up together.
And if you disagree, don't be a dick.
Or if you just want to play it, just play it. Whatever.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's simple. Sorry, I didn't really mean to go on a tangent with it.
No, that's fine.
Just one of those things.
I didn't want to take over. Courtney, was there more that you want to say about the Call of Duty?
Well, I was asking about the multiplayer because I think the disappointing part that we were experiencing in the multiplayer was the same problem that we had when we started up in Cold War. There's just a lot of like the party grouping aspect is still kind of buggy.
Oh yeah,
it really feels like you eventually got this worked out for Cold War. I don't know why we're back to the start of this and it's happening again.
Different studio.
Different studio, different servers. It's one of those things. You can count on it with a lot of big game releases, even Forza. I've been getting messages in Forza saying, "Hey, we're sorry if you guys are having connectivity issues." I haven't been, thank God. But clearly somebody is, enough to like where they're sending this out. And it's just kind of one of those things where it's the downfall or the downside to being first in line. You basically are paying to be a little bit of a beta tester while they patch those bugs with most new releases. Unfortunately, I would say that games like Warzone that have been out for years that still function like garbage, those are inexcusable. Those when you've had a game out as long as it's been out and the issues are still rampant, that's a problem. I'll always forgive new release issues.
Like day one server issues. Like if it's something as popular as a Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, anything that's just like people are hammering servers 10 times more than they would any other day.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, because no studio is going to prepare the servers to handle a day one influx, knowing fully well that that'll never happen again.
Yeah, right.
So it's just kind of, you hear a lot of like, "Hey, we're working on it," and are you though? Like you're just waiting for people to kind of whittle away as
time.
They, the new hype dies, and then you make your tweaks. But
right.
Yeah, no, I feel you though. It is frustrating having a new game and not being able to experience it the way you'd like. So, anything else that you'd like to share, Courtney?
I mean, I also played games like Skee Ball and Resident Evil, some other stuff, but I think you can talk about that.
Skee Ball rules.
Yeah,
right.
I became mildly obsessed with a game where you just chuck balls at like clowns,
clown faces. Down the clown.
We went to GameWorks in the Mall of America. We also went on roller coasters and all that good stuff. We had a great time. But yeah, we went to GameWorks where they weirdly didn't have servers. Like they had a full restaurant, but no servers.
I was thinking.
I said servers, and I was like, we just had that discussion.
Yeah, we should
clarify.
They did have an esports area, though.
They do. They have fighting game tournaments there and stuff. So
yeah, so they had that. That was my first time there, and I thought we sat down and we eventually I went to the bar. I'm like, you guys have servers? No. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, let me go take my family's order, and I'll bring it back up to the bartender to put the food in. So I was like, "Oh, that's weird that this is." I mean, it does set itself up as a restaurant, but okay, no servers, fine, whatever.
It might be a COVID thing.
It could be, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. Business is getting
going
hard.
to eat at GameWorks.
You got to address.
Right now.
Yeah, that's fair. We did.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's also fair.
Yeah, but we went to GameWorks, and I got like weirdly obsessed with. There was a bowling game that I thought was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And there was a clown game. It was bowling. Yeah, it was tiny ball, video bowling. It was cool. And then like an actual like chuck balls at clowns thing. Somebody handed out a bunch of free play cards, so we could just play
nice.
for free for an hour. Like I
That's
don't
awesome.
know. Also,
It was
doesn't seem
awesome.
like
That's
doesn't seem like
great.
the kind of thing you want to do to a business that maybe can't afford to have servers. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I guess we're hypothesizing a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time.
Probably make more money off of drinks.
I was gonna say we were still ordering drinks during
True.
that time, so
And then I
it's
don't
not
even
like
think I
they're
got
just for
charged
free.
for half my drinks
Nice.
because my
Oh.
bill was like for our family's bill it was like $50. I'm like, well, that's impossible. Unless, I mean,
Jack's been drinking like a
Right.
sailor for an hour
Maybe
and
the
a half.
one guy who tried to one up your Furious order, and that was like an ultimate fail. Maybe he
Yeah.
just felt really bad and took that off.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I did drink that the rest of the night. So maybe it grew on me. It's not better than Furious. All right. It's not that. If you guys don't know what Furious is, it's a Minnesota brewery, Surly Furious. Very good.
Not great.
Not great.
I don't, Surly's.
Your Wisconsin is showing. All
Listen,
Hey
New
now,
Glarus all
I'm
day.
going to take offense to that. I love my Furious.
Anyways,
Get
I
out of
didn't
here,
mean
John.
to derail the podcast by
you've offended me to the
by-
point where I
by
don't even think I
saying
can speak anymore.
after years of trying it. I don't know if I enjoy Surly beer. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, that's
They're just like fine.
They've what did we have? We had like the hot fuzz. No, not hot. I think it was hot fuzz, and it's like a peach.
That peach
flavored.
one was really good.
Yeah. So
And normally I would not like a beer
Furious
that's
is
sweet, but
definitely-
that was really good.
Yeah, Furious is not their only beer, but
No, they have
I digress.
a million of beer.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, a couple of people from the community, Coda, one of our Patreon supporters, and Bark Ruffalo, my mod extraordinaire, planned a special trip to come out.
That was our thing.
Surprised me. We went to the mall. Like I said, we went to a brewery. We had a bonfire. Had a good time. Really, really good week. But during that visit, I still found time to squeeze in some Forza. Some of it was when they were here. Most of it was when they were not. Forza Horizon 5, I went ahead and I paid to get the extra early content. So I started playing it on Friday, actually streamed it Friday morning. And that's when we had our visitors take some runs. And Kate jumped in and she did a race too. She actually got second. She did very well.
Kate did the best of all of us.
Now actually I'll never live it down that she's better at Forza than I am.
You knew that.
We didn't mess with the difficulty either. She was going as like right where I was. But I love that game. I super duper love that game. Forza Horizon 4. We've covered it on the show. We've covered Forza Horizon 4. I love it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Forza Horizon 5. I mean, I haven't beaten it yet, but there is more content. There is it does everything that Forza Horizon 4 does, as well or better. If you guys have Game Pass, do yourselves a favor and download it. It is, if you don't think you like racing games, that may be true, but it is so much more. To me, it is a car culture game. It is a celebration of vehicles. The game is beautiful. It is there's tons of different goofy fun cars to drive. They're all real world cars, except for at one point I drove a parade float.
Yeah, that was great. I did that on stream. It was incredible. That's how we ended the stream. It was
really
awesome.
It is.
We're like, like we have like 5 minutes left. So let's do this last adventure.
Yeah.
We found out it's like, we're driving this parade float like 10 miles an hour. I'm like, that's cool.
I would like
Let's
to
see
go
if we
back
can
to the
crash
off-road
it.
course now.
And then they switch you over. They're like, all right, you're on the real road now, and you're going like 100 miles an hour in the float.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's very good.
They just that's the thing. They always do so many fun things. And you guys, if you like Forza Horizon 5 and you enjoy it, Forza Horizon 4 is also on Game Pass. You're not taking it. It's not like that significant of a downgrade. If you've never played Forza and this sticks with you, you have so much content to take in. Forza Horizon 4 is great. Forza Horizon 5 so far is great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think I'm actually going to try to do 100% on this. I'm going to try to get all the cars. I'm at 126 already. So 128, I think. So we're making our way. I'm very excited about it.
This is a moment I wish the podcast were live. Like, people could see us, because they would see like the grin you have on your face right now, like the giddy
Big
grin.
goofy
Like, this is
smile.
my game.
That's right. That's right. I actually played it on stream a little bit today because I was playing. The other two games that I'm working on stream are still Tales of Arise, which I think we're marching toward the final area of that game. I thought we kind of beat it when it showed us a title screen after 35 hours.
Hell yeah.
And it was super confusing. And then it went into like what is essentially part 2. I don't know. I hope that's not a spoiler.
Excellent.
So there's a lot of content there. And then playing Blue Dragon still and making my way through that. Made it to disc 2. Played it almost all day today, and then about an hour and a half where I was going to quit stream, it crashed my Series X. Which I was kind of surprised that happened. And I was like, well, I'm halfway through a dungeon that I'm super annoyed at because there's enemies everywhere. I can't take 2 steps without getting in a fight. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to go play Forza. So played some Forza to wrap up the stream today. But good times. Yes. I don't think I've
find your happy place.
I think that's all I think that's all I've been up to. So
excellent.
What do you think? Should we jump into our first game here?
I think we should. I think it's been enough time.
Yeah,
talking about games.
So.
Let's talk about more games.
Let's talk about other games.
Do it. Who would like to introduce? Should I take the first? I think I've been handing off the first.
Sure.
One.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I guess before I do that though, if you guys have enjoyed our shows, if you guys have enjoyed the back and forth we've had so far, be sure to leave a review for the podcast. We would super duper appreciate it. Preferably a 5-star. That'd be awesome. But hey, I won't tell you how to live your life. Also, reach out to us. Let us know what you're thinking. If you enjoy the show, if you have some ideas for the show, if you just want to be a part of the show, we're happy to read those comments and whatnot. You can reach out to us on patreon.com /procedurally generated. You can reach out to us on Twitter at PG_show. And I want to do a real quick special hello and welcome to all of our new listeners. Our follower total on Twitter has been ramping up a little bit this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun to see. So if you guys are a new listener to this episode, welcome. Glad to have you.
Hey.
If you go back and listen to our old stuff, be gentle.
And I'm sorry.
We've grown. All right. We've grown. We've grown.
A little. Have we?
I mean,
we're getting better every day. Don't judge us by episode 1 through,
he doesn't mean that as
8.
like a problematic thing. I just want to let you know ahead of time. No. This is just, we're getting better at this podcasting thing.
Right. Podcasts are like a fine wine. It ages ever so gracefully.
Yes.
I just like any podcast, I think when you first start out is some growing pains and things like that. We've dialed some things in. We've cut the number of games we've done. We've added a brilliant third co-host who we're so happy to have.
Yeah.
But yes, if this is your first show, welcome. Thank you guys for listening. You can also, sorry, went off the rails there. You can also send us an email at pgshowinbox@gmail.com. You can join our Discord, which will be linked below. You can check out our TikToks, some unique content going on TikTok, not in the last week or so, but I'm putting short little videos kind of encompassing what each episode has entailed. Those are going up on TikTok. I think I'm still on episode 12 or something. And then you can check us all out on Twitch. I stream full time every day, Monday through Friday, usually from about 9 to 4. And you can find me at CW719. And I'll let you guys give your introductions as well.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at John Carson Games, where I will probably be streaming some Final Fantasy XIV until the end of time, and probably some other games as well as we get deeper into Game of the Year season, as I have to vote for more of that stuff. And then you can find me on Twitch at John_Carson. You can also find me streaming on Game Informer's Twitch account this Thursday, which will be too late by the time you hear this.
Sorry, I think you said Twitch. You meant Twitter for John_Carson, right?
Yes, that is Twitter for
for
John_Carson.
There you go.
Well, all right, yeah. But yeah, you can find me on Game Informer's Twitch account. Wow, now
I've made a mess. I'm sorry. I should have just let it slide.
Damn it, Chris. Yeah, I'm streaming the GTA trilogy this week on that channel. So
All the way
you
through to
can-
completion in one day, every game.
Yeah, that's it. I'm speed running all of them
I'm
by
pumped.
memory. My 20-year memory,
Gonna be
15,
put to
however
the
long
test.
it's been since I've played Vice City. It's been a while. But yeah, you can find me there. Courtney?
You can find me everywhere, Mecha Sprite. And I will tell you I'm going to stream. And then I won't do it, and you're going to be really disappointed and let me know about
Same.
it. Hi, Timmy. There
Love
you
it.
go. I would
Timmy
also
just
like
has-
to say a lot of the changes you guys have made to the podcast over these last 31 episodes. A lot of them have been generated from community feedback.
True.
It's true.
So if you
Yes.
have suggestions, don't hesitate to say something and toss it out there, because it gets heard.
Yes, we are incredibly open to that feedback. We want to hear what you guys think.
Unless it's from Timmy.
Yes. Yes. I've heard
Especially-
enough. Timmy.
Especially if it's from Timmy, but also unless it's from Timmy. It goes both ways.
So that is how you can reach out to us. So we hope to hear from you this week. All right, let's get into our first game. How's that sound? Oh boy. Developed by Psychio?
Yeah. Psyche.
Published by Psychio. We have a vertically scrolling top-down shooter. The version we're looking at released in 2017, but the original version released back in 1994. We're looking at the Switch version, but we also have this game came out on arcade, PlayStation 3, PSP, PS Vita, Sega Saturn, and Windows. It's not a game that I've ever played. We got a game called Gunbird. Gunbird.
That's my favorite kind of bird.
It's a good name.
It's a gunbird.
It is. It's just I don't know what I'm getting actually from the name Gunbird, but it's a video game name.
Yeah.
Gunbird.
Especially from 1994. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
I
knew-
can
knew-
envision the box art. I didn't even look at it, but I know what it looks like just from the name Gunbird.
It reminds me
Oh,
of
that was good.
There was what was that one shoot 'em up that we did? Like maybe like episode 3. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, I can find it. I got notes.
Yeah.
I think
Got
you're
notes
supposed
for
to say
days.
shmup.
Yeah, I'll say shmup. I
Shmup.
also learned a new abbreviation for this.
You did?
Yes. What is it called? It's like GST or GTS.
And
Let me
that
find it
would
quick. We're
mean-
just doing great radio.
I'm trying to
right
find
now.
the game that you're talking about. It wasn't episode 3. Unless you're thinking of a game that actually plays nothing like this.
So I
it's a
didn't actually know
side-scroller.
what shmup was. I had to go look that up. And then I was like,
Oh,
well,
that's exciting.
why don't shoot 'em up isn't really that hard to say.
Yeah.
But shmup kind of is.
But think of all those syllables you're saving. Ordine.
Well,
Yeah, Ordine.
There it is. We got
It's like
it.
Ordine.
Episode 7. Just 3.
It feels like a 3.
Know your history, John.
get it together.
Yeah, so the abbreviation that I learned was STG, which is strike gunner.
Hmm.
I think is like a Japanese term for this type of game. Strike gunner.
Strike Gunner. Okay.
Yeah.
STG.
STG.
That's still okay.
Why
Shoot
not
'em
just
up.
SG?
I don't make those rules.
We're not saving ourselves any syllables by doing that.
The game was actually called Strike Gunner STG. And so people call it STGs.
Oh.
Or at least the developer of this game did in an interview that I read.
Well, I mean, what is this game? This game is actually, this description sounds amazing. And the
Yeah.
first thing I thought of, I'll tell you after I read it. Based in a fantasy steampunk setting, complete with lush forests, medieval castles with steam trains and mech robots. You choose one of 5 characters, not ships, and travel the environment on broomsticks, jetpacks, pedal-powered helicopters to find pieces of a magic mirror spread across 7 stages. All right, if we cut out like the middle 3/4 of that,
No, it's all good.
I'm just saying, if we cut that part out,
Yes.
then that description actually fits kind of good with Final Fantasy VI.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, ooh, what is this game? And then I got into it and I'm like, oh, Okay, that wasn't what I was expecting.
Not what I thought.
Suplexing a train? Weird.
Exactly. Sabin is very strong. So that is a description of the game. Little, like I said, the middle three quarters kind of sets itself apart from where I was initially leaning with the traveling the environments on broomsticks, jetpacks, and pedal powered helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
But then we come right back to finding pieces of a magic mirror spread across 7 regions.
Yeah.
So this is a top down vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. It plays much like any other shmup. SGT,
like a shmup.
Yep.
We can go shmup.
Plays much like any other shooter in that regard. You're blowing up baddies and you're dodging bullets. I don't know. From what I saw, bullet hell might be a stretch.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's no
that
bullet hell.
intense.
No.
It's more of just a straight up shoot 'em shmup type of a situation,
like a 1942. A Galaga situation.
Yeah, I need this kind of game to keep myself in line with not every bullet hell. Not every shoot 'em up is a bullet hell, but every bullet hell is a shoot 'em up.
Correct.
Yeah. Prove me wrong.
Returnal.
I would call that a bullet hell.
Yeah, but it's not a shoot 'em up.
All right. I guess.
Also, Nier Automata is a bullet hell.
All right. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Yep. That's fair.
You got him.
That's fair. I can't.
I appreciate where you're coming from there.
Yeah. I want to argue. But I don't know. How.
Yeah, like there's certain aspects from bullet, like those games aren't as like pure bullet hell, but there are a lot of elements.
Yeah, there are
that come specifically from bullet hell games in those.
I wonder, like, pure shmups is a game like Returnal or Nier Automata. Are they the things that the developers envisioned back in the day, right? If they had the technology, would they have made those kind of games? Probably not, huh?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. All right. I tried. That's as far. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Now, Gunbird, to our American audience, may not sound super familiar. I mean, it sounds awesome, regardless of where you're from. But it does not. It actually wasn't released as Gunbird in the U.S. It was released as what I think is a much dumber title, Mobile Light Force.
Yeah, that is.
That's not a Gunbird.
No, that's almost a Gundam.
Yeah, there's things happening there. I don't like it. But it was released as Mobile Light Force in Europe, and the US. And those versions were stripped down badly. No original cinematics, no dialogue, no bonus materials, and each character, which did there was, I don't know, I didn't write down the character names for some reason. Apparently, I didn't care about their individuality either.
I have them.
You do? Okay. Well,
I do.
The characters in Mobile Light Force had all their individuality cut out entirely. But let's give credit to those characters. Who were those characters, John?
Yeah, those characters are Ash, a 28-year-old German man with a jetpack on his back. Marion, who's a 13-year-old witch from England who flies on a broomstick, which you mentioned before. Valnus is a big robot created in Russia 6 months ago that has some of the best firepower in the game. Thanks, Valnus.
That's fitting.
Yuannang, who is based on Sun Wukong, the Chinese mythological figure that Goku is also based on.
Okay.
And then Tetsu, he's an old man. He's a 60-year-old man. This description also says he's a homosexual in rather uncloseted manner and rides in a man-powered helicopter.
I did hear, and I didn't want to get into it too much, but I did hear that this might potentially be one of the first instances of an actually a homosexual video game character.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I did try to find a list, and the first one I found listed was Birdo from Mario Brothers 2.
Sure,
and I thought maybe I need to not reference this anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It just the article seemed all over the place, and I was like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna call this good. I need to stay in my lane here. So
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the characters.
Those are the characters.
The original Gunbird, as I stated, was released in Japan, Japanese arcades in 1994. Was then ported to the Saturn and PlayStation in 1995. And that's in Japan. It didn't make it to the PAL territories or the US until 2002 and 2003, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
This game also came to Yahoo Mobile in 2002. You guys remember Yahoo Mobile? It then came to PlayStation Network in 2009 and Steam in 2015. We are talking about the Switch version, which came in 2017. In terms of Mobile Light Force, this was considered a very sloppy port.
Surprising.
Yeah, there were, like I said, everything was cut out. It was very sloppy.
Yeah.
The cover art. Did you guys see the cover art between the two games?
I'm looking at Gunbird right now. I need to look up Mobile Light Force quick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some decisions were made.
Is that just straight up Charlie's Angels?
Yeah, it is. It's they went with Charlie's Angels, whereas the Japanese cover art is colorful anime cover art. It's in line with what's in the game. Mobile Light Force's cover art is not in line with what this game is in any way.
It's not.
None of those characters are in the game. There's no realistic art style. They're shooting guns and running. Literally, half of that happens. You shoot guns. I don't think there's a character that stays on the ground.
Which one's the witch?
Wow.
I know. I don't know.
I like that. So I'm looking at box art for both Mobile Light Force and Mobile Light Force 2, and it's the same box art.
The exact
same. I wish I hadn't seen this.
Yeah, it's like poor decisions were made. The Japanese version, I think, is, 100% is the way to go with this game. It's
appropriate for the game.
Yes, they made some very bad decisions in this port. So not great. What is this, John?
I just posted a link to both box arts.
Oh, your link took me to a redirect notice.
Oh, good. Excellent.
That's
I hope
safe,
you get a virus.
Right?
Sure.
Oh my God, it is the same thing. It's just longer, so you get to see more of the top of the picture.
Geez. Very cool. And I'm
thought, well, hey, we've got this great artwork from the first one. We can just reuse it.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Use that budget.
That's
booty.
That's
for
terrible.
Shame.
That is booty.
Oh man. So this game did come up on Switch.
Yeah.
But I tried to find the game on Switch. The game's not on Switch.
Huh.
Right?
Is it in Arcade Archives?
Well, I found it, but I did not find Gunbird on Switch. It was a part of the Psycho Shooting Stars Bravo collection. So it's a collection of games from that era from this developer that I'd never heard of, but apparently they do specialize in making these kind of games.
Mm-hmm. They do like Cho Aniki, which is very beefy, mostly naked men shooting lasers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So with the Shooting Stars Bravo, you also would be getting let's see. Well, hold on. Let me come back to that. Well, no, I'll do it now.
Do it now.
It includes Samurai Aces Episode 1, Samurai Aces Episode 2, Tengai, Samurai Aces Episode 3, Sengoku Canon. I don't know how to say this word. Gunbird?
Sure.
Gunbird, Gunbird, and Gunbird 2. So you can get that on Switch for $20, or you can get Gunbird by itself on Steam for $9.99. That doesn't seem like the play. Get the Switch one because you get 6 games instead of 1 for $10 more. What a deal!
Get the Switch one, and then get the there's a control, or there's like a Switch mount that lets you position your Switch vertically. Ooh. And like put the Joy-Cons in it.
There you go.
It's very neat.
That would be cool. In terms of Gunbird, though, I don't have too much else. I have a little bit about the developer, but do you guys have anything else special about the game you'd like to go over?
Where was it? Oh yeah, so the game plays out in 7 stages. There's 2 loops for the game. So like the first loop that you go through will take like 3 random stages and put them together. And then for the second loop, it will take, there's like a special stage for the first bit of that second loop, and then it pulls random stages for the second half as well. There are like cutscenes and character stuff that happens
In the Japanese version.
in the Japanese version, yes. Which is technically what we're
That is
talking
true.
about.
Yeah, that is true. I don't want people to get the American or the US version, or like check out the US version and be like, this is dumb.
And like you could play this game multiplayer. There is interaction between the characters. So like there's conversations that happen. There's dialogue. Some of it is supposed to be very funny, which obviously we probably won't understand because it's not in English.
I wonder if that. I guess I didn't check, but the Psycho Shooting Stars Bravo collection, that probably hasn't been. You think that would be translated to English?
I don't know.
I wonder, because that would actually up my interest quite a bit more.
Yeah.
If you could understand them.
Obviously, if I could understand it, but yeah, duh. But I just assumed all through this research that was just going to be the Japanese version, but
yeah,
I don't know if they would just make that collection available without translating it.
It looks like there's some at least English text.
Okay.
I don't know about voices though, but it does have the Japanese characters. So
good.
That's
good.
It is actually Gunbird. It's not
good.
Yeah, it's that Mobile Light Force. But yeah, that's mainly it. Like the characters do actually have character moments. And every time you play through the game, it is slightly randomized. And pulls from a pool of like, I was seeing 7 stages at one point. I was seeing 10 at another point. I think maybe there's just 7 stages total that you go through, but there's 10 stages that it can pull from.
Okay.
Which is pretty neat.
So a little about Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And by I say little, I mean little. I don't have a ton, but
there's not a lot.
Yeah. So they were established in 1993. I thought it funny that the 2 main types of games that they make, I can't think of 2 games that are maybe more polar opposites of one another. Fast-paced shooter games and mahjong.
Yeah.
They clearly go hand in hand. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. It's like the developers had like a stressful experience putting these fast-paced shooters together, and like, we need a break. Let's make mahjong. Let's bring it down. Let's just chill out. It was let's see, known as Psycho until 2002, when it became X-Not.Psycho. But at that point, it essentially became a label. And all development work was outsourced. So as a developer, they kind of ceased to exist. But
it's like Konami now.
Lived on. Yeah, kind of. That's well, they're kind of making their
way back. They have that with one game and pachinko stuff.
I wonder how much of that, and it's a little bit of a tangent, but I wonder how much of them that was like, oh man, it would have been a really good idea to keep making games during a worldwide pandemic. Maybe we should have. Maybe we should have stayed the course at that point.
I don't know. They were releasing like Castlevania, collections and stuff.
They have so much stuff they could have been.
They have Castlevania collections to release, like that Game Boy Advance one that came out, which
all right,
is pretty good.
We could be living in a world where Silent Hill exists, and we could be playing it right now. All right,
that's not
or we'd be done.
Necessary.
With it.
He's not bitter.
It's not necessary, John.
Yeah,
it's not necessary
to play Silent Hill.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. How dare you?
Oh, I'll dare.
You are getting on my nerves this
I'll
episode.
Dare you all night.
Do I have to break you 2 up over there?
In April of, I'm going to get back on course now that you've offended me. In April of 2003, it was reported in Arcadia magazine that Psycho had gone under. A couple days later, a press release stated that the report was done in error, and they should expect many announcements over the summer. I thought it would be fun to go and check out if any of those announcements happened. And while I couldn't find announcements, they did continue to release games. until 2005, when their final game, Psycho Shooting Collection Volume 3, Soul Divide and Dragon Blaze, was released.
Which just sounds like a collection.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
Not
if it
actually
was
anything new. It seems like Cybernator's probably their last like new game.
Oh yeah.
Which was also just a remake, or not a remake, but probably just a reissuing of a 1992 game that wasn't theirs.
Okay.
Looking into it. Very cool. All right.
So they could have basically. All right. Yeah. So they were around. They did some stuff. They made some.
They made shooters. They made some mahjong. They made a load runner.
Yeah. So the Switch version of now, I think I actually did the Switch version of Gunbird. Sits at a 72 on Metacritic. I don't think I did the Psycho Shooting Collection Volume 3, so I don't know what good that Metacritic score is for you if you can't find Gunbird by itself on Switch. They made
Cannon Spike? Do they work on Cannon Spike? It's a Dreamcast. Are you familiar with Mad TV?
Uh-huh.
The game, not the not the comedy TV show.
No,
is it Mad TV? Is that what I'm thinking of? Smash TV.
Oh, yes.
Smash TV. Very different.
Very.
I just read it. Different. I'm like, I don't know why my brain just said Mad TV instead.
You said Mad TV. I immediately went to like Stewart, and it was
No, not Mad TV. Which is
loved Smash TV. Super Smash TV.
Super Smash TV. So this is a like a Street Fighter themed Smash TV that's like 3D, and it uses Charlie, who's like Guile's partner, like other army dude, and Cammy from Street Fighter. They are both in this game. Okay. Anyways, it's a bunch of different characters: Mega Man, Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, Charlie and Cammy, BB Hood from Darkstalkers. I guess Psycho had some role in that game.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I've got though for Gunbird.
Same director, I should say, from this game.
Oh,
Shinsuke Nakamura, which is a very, very fun thing for me to try to figure out. I'm like, all right, so that's a name that I'm very familiar with. That is a famous wrestler, pro wrestler.
Oh,
works for WWE.
Okay.
His name is Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, that can't be the same dude. And so I'm looking through the Moby credits for him for Psycho's Shinsuke, and one of the credits in there is WWE 2K19 for like additional voices. I'm like, no, that's some like wires got crossed there, and I think they put the wrestler Shinsuke Nakamura. They put his credits within the Shinsuke.
I see. Okay.
Game catalog, because this guy's got to be at least 10 years older, if not more, than the wrestler. So very odd. Anyways, that was a fun journey for me to go down this afternoon.
There's no way.
I'm like, there's no way. But also, there's another WWE wrestler named Asuka who was a video game journalist in Japan, and has done like voiceover work for a bunch of games, and I think she did motion capture stuff for Tekken. So like, she is legitimately in game credits.
Okay, so not unprecedented.
Not unprecedented.
Just not the case in this instance.
Not the director of a shmup from 30 years ago.
Perfect. Got it. All right. Well, great. What say we take our first break?
Sure.
Cool.
Already.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
1, 2, 3,
we'll see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, I don't know why I did that. You've already been
to
here.
Procedurally Generated.
We now hype up part 2 as much as we hype up part 1 with a rousing introduction. This is still episode 31.
It is.
It's still November 9th, although it is closer to the 10th than when we started. but not there
We're
yet.
getting there. We might get there.
Yeah. No, God, we can't. We can't. That's
sure?
dude. That's I'll walk out. I'll leave.
Hey Chris, it's daylight savings time now. I think you could spare another 4 hours.
I don't. That's not how it works.
Does that mean we're not doing a 24-hour podcast?
That's
That's correct.
Yep.
Oh.
I guess.
I guess we
Yeah,
need to start establishing these ground rules before we start. Huh?
Pack it up.
I
brought my
didn't
sleeping
realize.
bag,
Mhm.
just in case.
I'm gonna need
got-
more tea.
I should have brought my energy drink, but I just have a Coke instead. Chris,
You're
how
going to
was
hear
your
me
break?
slurping my tea on this microphone.
My break was good. I got upstairs just in time to give Jack a hug and kiss goodnight as he
Great.
crashes out for the evening. And then I grabbed myself a nice glass of peach ginger turmeric tea. I'm saying turmeric because I tried to figure out how to say it. I was pronouncing it as turmeric, and chat corrected me, and they did like the phonetic spelling.
Yeah.
And basically it degraded into peach ginger turmeric tea.
Yeah,
So-
turmeric. That's like tumor. Ick.
Turmeric.
It's like a gross tumor.
It's not turmeric.
I'm just gonna
To my dear friend Merrick.
I'm just gonna keep ruining delicious herbal drinks for you all night. Anyways, Courtney, how's your break?
My break was great. I unloaded the dishwasher.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
It was very exciting.
John,
Great.
how was your break? I mean,
I-
we might
I
as well go
don't-
full circle.
It's what did I do? I gave my cat a straw. She didn't seem
straw?
too enthusiastic, but she loves straws. But she was too tired to play with it right away. But now she's going ham on it. So
Does she
good.
like curly Q straws or like the cool heart-shaped straw that Jack had, or
anything
that's
that's,
so cool.
that's a tiny tube, she will attack and she will play with.
Dip a little catnip in there. Just watch her just go
Oh
nuts.
no.
Yeah, there you go. Well, let's dive into game number 2. John,
Let's
would you like to
do
do the
it.
honors?
Yeah, sure. So this game is developed by Ransacked Studios. It's published by Rogue Games Inc. It was released on the PC originally, but it's also available on Switch and Xbox. It's a 2D platform shooter. This is Glitch's Trip.
You did the same thing that I do when it comes to like, how do I define this genre? It's not a difficult thing to say, 2D platformer shooter, but it
Yeah.
always just feels wrong.
Yeah, it's like like
Right.
putting
Is that the
those
right
two
thing to
things
call it?
together. It's like, if you think about it, Metroid is a 2D platformer shooter.
Yep. It makes perfect sense, but it just, like I
It
said,
does.
something about it just feels off.
Yeah.
doesn't roll off the tongue
Right.
No. Maybe we need a new term for it.
like shmup.
Pluter.
Like shmup? No. No. No,
Pluter.
back that one up, Chris. Back it up.
Listen,
not going
if it's-
there.
If we haven't made an industry-wide change to Pluter by tomorrow, I don't even
What
know what
about
we're doing here.
a shoot former?
I like Pluter.
Yeah. Pluter's pretty good, actually.
I was
playing
trying to
my
take
Pluter.
a dig. Shoot former.
So
So what is this game?
yeah, so this is a little kind of a mascot platformer shooter thing. You play as Glitch. You're a little.
It's a mascot Pluter.
Mascot Pluter, excuse me, like Bob is on the Super Nintendo. Anyways, Glitch is a little like green bean looking dude who could shoot in 360-degree directions, I guess. And how do you describe a Pluter now? Yeah, you platform and you shoot. You're going through very colorful levels that have. It really reminds me of Geometry Wars. Actually, is the art style it reminds me of.
Yeah,
Which actually, we'll get into it a little bit later as to why that probably is. But very like neon colors. Everything's very kinetic and moving. Here's the blurb on what you're doing in the game. Why glitch is pluting? What?
Listen, the potential we could. This is it. Like, you just that's it. That's what it is from now on. It works in so many ways.
A platoon. So this is the official description. Glitch was relaxing at his favorite chill spot on his home planet of Verdo when beams of energy began pouring out of the planet's moons. Unknown to him, 4 intergalactic tyrants had set up breweries to harvest one of the tastiest elixirs in the galaxy, moon juice. The secret ingredient, the life force of the planet. A highly addictive juice, Glitch needs to stop the production of moon juice before Verdo will wither away and become another wasteland. So your platform shooting, you're pluting through 100 handcrafted levels. There's 4 bosses, like they said, the 4 tyrants that are opening up their pluter breweries, their pluteries. I'm just gonna, Chris, you put me down. You put me on this road.
We're 2 minutes away from every word.
It's like
the
Smurf.
4
We're Smurfing
bosses plan to plead each is plute plebbles.
Oh,
that's where we're at now.
And Glitch has an ability to kind of go ethereal, I guess. But it affects things in different ways. Like you can change the gravity so you can walk on the ceiling, and that's portrayed by like these chevron arrows in the background. So it's you kind of know like what you're working with at all times. You could also go like 0G. There's different, like, let's say spherical platforms that you can gravitate towards and like walk around like it was Mario Galaxy or something. And then you are also you're shooting things, jumping and shooting.
Like I looked at this game, and I'm glad you said Geometry Wars, because to me this game looks like what happens if you give Kirby a gun and throw him in Geometry Wars.
Yeah,
he's very Kirby-esque, a ball with feet. I could see Kirby existing in this universe as Glitch.
Sure.
So yeah, if anything, I hope that helps paint a picture of what you might be looking at. Kirby, with a gun,
like
in
Lolo
Geometry Wars
with a gun,
a lot of neon.
It's a green Lolo.
So much neon.
Or Lolo. Lolo also works.
Lolo. Yeah.
Lolo's probably either way, you get the picture. Circle buddy. All right.
Yeah. And you're just working through levels and trying to get through them and shooting. There's 40. It says 40 unique hazards and 16 killer enemies.
Is a hazard like a platform you got to jump up? Like
I think so. I think it's just like like spikes. There's a lot of spikes in this game. It seems like it's actually a pretty challenging looking platformer. Lots of spikes on the walls and the floors, and very specific jumps that you need to make.
John, I believe it is equal parts relentless and charming. I have to say the descriptions, I read a couple different sites and a couple different descriptions, like what John read off about the breweries and all that.
Yeah.
The descriptions of this game sound amazing. And I read them before I looked at screenshots or anything from the game, and I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
They kind of made my eyes bleed.
Is it relentless and charming?
Were awesome.
Is it? Would you say relentless and charming, like Super Meat Boy, like platforming, relentless and charming, or I didn't see like in terms of pacing, it seems like a more slower paced type thing.
Yeah,
you're not rushing. You're not trying to
because you were working with like gravity and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And shooting. Meat Boy is just pure platforming.
That's true. No shooting there. Okay.
No,
well, I
no
honestly
pluting, just all.
This game's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is. Which I think that's all it needs to be.
Yeah.
right?
And I have very little about the developer. This is not. Do you have more about the game that you want to get into?
Not really.
Okay.
It is very, very straightforward.
Pretty limited, but it also makes sense because this is actually the developers. This is only their second game, right? Their first was a game called Zombie Scrapper, which was I believe just a mobile game. Okay, sorry, being derivative.
No, you just mean it was only released
on
mobile.
I could choose my words better. I didn't want it to make it sound like
you could. It was only a mobile game.
But yes, only on mobile. Only a 3-man studio.
Yeah.
Glenn Montalvo does the programming. Michael Coletti does the design. Steve Ford does the art. I will say, like looking at this game, I didn't get a chance to look very closely at Zombie Scrapper. This seems like a pretty significant step forward for them.
It's a big upgrade.
Yeah, you can tell it's a studio that's learning as they go. They're getting better at their craft and things like that. I'm curious.
I think Michael Coletti and Steve Ford have worked together on bigger games before in the past.
Oh, have they? Okay.
So yeah, searching there, there weren't any actual credits for this game in Moby Games, so I started searching their names individually, and Steve Ford has worked on the Wreck-It Ralph game from 2012 and Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed as the lead UI artist.
Okay.
And Michael Coletti also worked on those two games.
Oh,
as engineer. So, it looks like their pictures are similar, at least between the. Oh no, sorry, this is Glenn Montalvo.
Yeah, he does the programming on this. Coletti does the design. So Montalvo and Ford work together.
It was Montalvo, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. Well, that's awesome.
But there's nothing on their website that indicates that. So,
do you know when they did that? Did they work for the studio specific to those games, or did they?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
All it says is programming engineering for those two games for Montalvo, and then for Ford, it also says that he worked on let's see here, Caesar Milan's Dog Whisperer.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What is that game? I have to look up what that game is now. It's a PC game.
Okay. We training dogs in this game? Feels like we're training dogs in this game.
There's also a DS game, it looks like.
It sounds like a DS game. If that's a DS sounding game.
Yeah, I'm sorry to go on a tangent here. You start off with 6 different tutorials on how to interact with the dogs. With 34 dogs with differing problems, you can monitor their activity and personality meters as you go on walks, rollerblading, and feed them.
Okay.
You can correct a dog, or you can correct when a dog is acting too excited, fearful, or dominant. If your actions are working, you will see each meter is in the green zone. You can yank its leash, shush it to sit, or rub its head or belly to encourage it. At times, Caesar will provide advice if you're not doing something correctly. The game is also interspersed with educational quiz questions.
Interesting. So you can make a game on anything.
Yes.
I think that's the major point to take home here.
Yeah. I think it was a Ubisoft published game.
Oh.
And
okay.
The DS one is called My Dog Coach.
What was the original name? Who's this guy?
Caesar Milan's Dog Whisperer.
Caesar Milan. Why? I think he has a TV show.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, this is based off the TV show.
That was driving me nuts. I was like, why is this guy's name sound so familiar?
Yeah, he's the Dog Whisperer.
Oh, all right. I thought we were just pulling stuff. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Caesar Milan is the popular dog behavior expert who hosts National Geographic's The Dog Whisperer.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense as to why this game was. I thought somebody was just like, let's make this game without any without any context.
Yeah. Back to Ford. He worked on Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, as you do. And then, like I said, Wreck-It Ralph and Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed.
It's not their fault. That's what they call the movie. They didn't have a choice.
Willingly.
Mm-hmm. You can get this game on Steam for
You can.
$12.99. You can get this game on Switch for $12.99, or you could get it on itch.io for a minimum of $9.99. On itch.io, you decide how much you want to pay, but the minimum is $9.99. So you can get it for a couple bucks off, or you could just pay $12.99 there too if you want. Whatever you want to do.
Surprisingly, this is one of our newest games too.
Yeah,
on our
in fact,
list.
This one made the cut. It was
it made the 1001 games you must play before you die.
Did not make that list.
Oh,
not that list. That's the wrong list.
Okay.
No, it did not. It also didn't have enough ratings on Metacritic or OpenCritic to give you a.
I remember this game coming out last year because I remember every game coming out in the pandemic because you needed every little bit of entertainment during those
John
times.
Has played them all,
and that too. But yeah, like looking at the art, it feels like an XBLA game from 12 years ago, in a good way.
It does look good. It does. Yeah. I mean, it looks sharp. Fun. It looks colorful. There's some fun animations going on. Yeah. It intrigues me, I would say.
Yeah, this might be an interesting ranking.
This is one of my favorite parts. Is I'm like, as we're going through this, and I'm figuring out what that top three is gonna. Spoilers. I already know my top three. But figuring out what order those top three are gonna. Yeah. Again, it's not the top three. What order these three games are gonna go in?
It is the top three.
Man, it is fun. It is fun. I get excited. But that's all I have for Glitch's trip.
Yeah. That's all I have as well. I want to drink some of that moon juice.
Right?
Give me some. Give me that sweet moon juice. It sounds intoxicating.
Would you eat the moon if it were made of cheese?
If you were a hot dog,
I would eat anything made of cheese.
Oh man, I love
know
that
I would.
Skit.
Smother myself with mustard and ketchup. That'd be delicious.
Wash it down with a nice tall Budweiser.
Oh, Harry. Carey.
Yes, the legend. Our third game, and Courtney, I was going to have you introduce this one, and I still will. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and call out that this was a community choice game, and I'm going to call out the non-winners, and then hand it off to Courtney.
That's cool.
Our second place vote getter. So we had 5 games to choose from. Our second place vote getter was Free Cell Solitaire.
I would have gone down with some Free Cell. That sounds awesome.
I voted for that.
Thank you. I forgot to vote.
We were allowed to vote.
Yep, we definitely were. Now that I know that the direction that you guys took, we may take away that freedom.
It's a busy week.
No, just kidding. So that had 7 volts. Volts. Shocking. 7 votes.
Oh, wow.
Third place was Tier Chains of Valhalla that had 6 votes, including mine. I can't believe this one didn't win. And then with 3 votes each, we had G1 Jockey and Pitfall Planet bringing up the rear. So I'll hand it up to Courtney to detail who our big winner was. Courtney, take it away.
Well, this is a 2012 action-adventure video game from Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Wii U, and Microsoft Windows. It is the 5th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series and a direct sequel to the 2011 Assassin's Creed Revelations.
They still make
this is Assassin's Creed 3.
Ta-da!
The 7th game in the series.
The plot is set in a fictional history. I'd like you to remember that. Fictional history of real-world events and follows the millennia-old struggle between the assassins who fight to preserve peace and free will and the Templars who desire peace through control.
There you go. You guys asked for it.
There you go.
You guys got it.
You got
Assassin's Creed 3. So Courtney.
Yeah.
You got some beef with this game.
Well,
how do you want to go about this?
Do we want to get into it yet, or do we want to?
Should we wait?
Let's... We're gonna ease into it. It.
Okay.
I'm not an Assassin's Creed player.
Yeah.
I have tried a couple of different iterations of the Assassin's Creed series, and it ends up being the game that I don't like. They have great marketing. They have phenomenal marketing. I see their commercials, I see the stuff on TV, and it looks beautiful. It
Mhm.
looks intriguing. It looks like a cool story. And then I get the game, and it's the cutscenes, and it's just it's not what I'm looking for. It's not going to occupy my time well.
What were the last ones that you tried? I'm just curious what your
I don't even know which ones
history
they
is.
were.
Were they more recent?
They're probably more recent than this.
Okay, because the franchise has reached a bit of a diversion from what it used to be to what it is now.
Where now they're more like open world RPGs, like
Yeah.
fully open world, instead of like we have a mostly open city that might be like open up in different parts.
We have an open world, but we really want you to take this one very specific path that's very narrow.
Less that now.
Yes.
It's
now
like
it's
that now.
it's go nuts, go live your life. I mean, there are consequences to maybe going to places you're not supposed to be. But yeah, they've gone a much more open world RPG route these days. Which I think I'm surprised how split the audience is. But I know there are a lot of fans of the older games. I am personally a big fan of the direction that they now take. I just think that I was never a fan of the original Assassin's Creeds. Even Black Flag, which I did play. It's one that I fell off of pretty quickly, and I also felt like, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, I always felt like Assassin's Creed, after a certain point, became almost, it was incapable of if you didn't play the originals, that story is continuous and ongoing, and it's hard to make your way into it.
Right, because
like
anything, the whole conceit of Assassin's Creed is you are playing through the memories of your ancestors in a virtualized world built off of like echoes within your DNA, which is very odd. So the first 6+ games were all like diving into Desmond Miles's ancestry and like seeing who were assassins in there. And for some reason, literally everybody in his family were assassins. So like keeping up with that story between like Ezio for like the Assassin's Creed 2 series, and Altair from the first Assassin's Creed, and Revelations, I think he was also a part of. And now into this one, which is Connor, who is Native American assassin. It's just kind of hard to keep up with like who's all in Desmond's family, and like what all the ties are between like the Templars and the assassins, and like who's really on what side, and why are there aliens, kind of what's like this ancient civilization that's actually kind of that formed the world. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on in the background of Assassin's Creed games, where like when they went to Origins, they kind of tried to wipe that slate clean a bit. Like you're still doing you're diving into your ancestors' DNA through the Animus, but you are further removed from it, or like they barely touch on it. Like maybe 4 times through the game they'll like bring you out. Like this is where we are in the real world.
Yeah, and as they continue to iterate, I mean, they've got to the point now with Assassin's Creed Valhalla where, I mean, there's really no assassin aspect anymore. I mean, it's all tied again. There's still those references back to the Animus and that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's just they've really pulled themselves away from that original line of games, the original ones. This game was a weird one to research because I'm gonna list off some awards that it either won or came close to winning.
Sure.
And then we're gonna talk about how it's not a great game based on what the community thinks. So
yeah.
The let's see, GameStar in Germany, or I guess GameStar / GamePro, are they one and the same in Germany? I don't know. It's
No idea.
Very much shown strange. Best console game of the year, based on the readers' vote in 2012. Best action game of the year, readers' vote, also in 2012. PC games, also in Germany. So Germany was all about this game.
Germany loves the American Revolution.
Issue 1, 2013. Number 2 game of the year, 2012. Issue 1, 2013. Action game of the year, 2012. So took home those awards. I found some more awards. These are no winning awards, though. This is runner-up down the lane here. We got 2012 Spike TV Video Game Awards. You guys remember those?
I do. Jeff Keighley still hosts those.
Yeah. Are those still happening?
They're called the Video Game Awards.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's the same lineage.
Yeah. It was runner up for Game of the Year, losing to The Walking Dead. Runner up to being that's why I liked including the game, because it also helps me space place and time. Runner up as the best Xbox 360 game, losing to Halo 4. Runner up to best PS3 game, losing to Journey. Runner up to best action adventure game, losing to Dishonored. And runner up to best graphics, losing to Halo 4. So close on so many occasions, but yet getting beat by all kinds of games.
Yeah.
And then all of this is essentially wiped clean, because it also ended up being runner up to best character, losing to Claptrap from Borderlands 2.
I mean, you really can't deny Claptrap.
Way to devalue your entire award show.
You don't like Claptrap?
No, God. Ugh, he's annoying all the time.
He's award-winning.
Yeah, he's an award-winning character, Chris.
Claptrap, get him out of here. Let's see here. I'll go a little bit into the production, which I don't have too much, but I'm going to kind of hand it off to you guys, because I think you have more on this game. I found myself, so this game, I would say eventually, as it not this game specifically, but this series, a big reason we touched on it a second ago with Assassin's Creed Origins. I think this game suffered some series fatigue. It was very much yearly releases, sometimes multiple releases during the year, different consoles, all kinds of games coming out. And one of the problems that I had as I was doing this research was everything felt a little samey. It was hard to separate Assassin's Creed 3 from other Assassin's Creeds, just in the way that they were developed and things like that. Now, John, you have a different point of that, and I think you found some good examples. So I will let you take that. But for now, I can say it began production in 2010. You know, it doesn't even make sense for me to start it. John, you did a better job of this. You go ahead.
Oh, sure. So I kind of wasted all of my...
I was about to say, sorry, big curveball. I was like, I'll do it. No.
No.
You
John,
do it.
John, you do it. So this game is coming off of a pretty successful trilogy with the Assassin's Creed 2 games. And Ubisoft, finally hitting a home run with this franchise. One was supposed to be this big turning point, this huge brand new genre of game, and kind of failed. 2 comes along and they have a hit on their hands, so they immediately start working on 2 other games, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations, to tie up kind of those first 2 stories. And now they're moving on to Assassin's Creed 3. They are expanding their development and kind of working on this game with a bunch of different Ubisoft companies. So development is happening all around the world. It's happening with thousands of people. There's a lot of different irons in the fire, a lot of different ideas that other parts of the development process might not know that's even in the game. So there's a lot of confusion about what the game is, what the scope is, what's actually existing within it. And it sounded like even leading up to the last few weeks of development before the game went gold, there were big set pieces that were pulled out of the game. big changes that were happening. There were revelations of parts of like mechanics and pieces that were in the game that other development studios didn't know about. So it's this big amalgamation and kind of like a different way that of building these games that they've done before. And from and from an article I was reading about a former developer on this game, I think I'm gonna break the glass here, Chris. They literally just called it a shit show. The whole development of
Beep.
Assassin's Creed 3. I'm not bleeping it out. But yeah, it sounded like it was pretty chaotic. It was coming in real hot. I remember like there were some very like well-regarded scores for this game. I was just looking up the Game Informer one because I was hanging out with people who worked there at that time, and I remember I think maybe I remember Dan Reichert not liking it, but I don't think he's liked any Assassin's Creed, so I don't think that's a good place to start. But I remember there being other like dissenters who were just like, this isn't great, but the review that Matt Miller gave it was a 9.5. So like there are people who were like super into like the scope and scale of it. Like this game starts you off as one character, and then like after a couple of hours you switch over to another character who's like this I think it's his son.
Mm-hmm.
Who then like that guy's that father's like, I think it's his brother, has like his own game, which is like the sequel to this.
Is that Liberation?
Yeah. No, that was Black Flag.
Okay, all right.
The
Liberation thing was a weird aspect of it, which I didn't do a lot at digging into because it's a separate game that's not Assassin's Creed 3, even though it is Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It was this character's father is the main character in
Black Flag.
Black Flag. So
okay.
Connor is the main character of 3, who's half Native American. Hatham Kenway is his dad. He's the one that you first play as in this game, which is kind of confusing. His father, if we're going through this whole DNA cycle here, his father was the main character in Black Flag, who was like a pirate.
Okay,
I guess so.
See, I think this is a fascinating story. Not this one specifically, but the overarching story. But it's one of those weird things where, and this is going to be this might knock Courtney directly out of her chair when I say this. The gameplay to me with the Assassin's Creed games, the first ones, got in the way.
Yeah,
I was so interested in what they could do with this story, the way it all would like tie together and all that stuff. But I would just lose the thread almost instantly as soon as the gameplay kicked in. It's always that's why I was never able to get into the Assassin's Creed series, even though I was so intrigued by what could exist there. I think
2 was like the only one that I really got into, and that was when they really opened up the climbing even more. Like, if something's sticking out of a building by like 2 inches or something, like you can grab it, you can climb up whatever you want. So it's the freedom of movement for that, but also the mystery that you were unfolding with the apple or whatever. Like you'd find these like photos, and they'd have apples, like mysterious apples in them. But you would unlock like a half-second clip of a video, and as you were playing through the game, you'd unlock different clips of that same video, and by the end you've unlocked the whole thing, and you're seeing these like futuristic people running through this city, but it's something that happened thousands of years ago. That's like the whole alien thing that had happened, and the genesis of like the Templar and assassin stuff. It's very out there. But yeah, like that stuff was super cool, but then I couldn't really stick with it, like you said, Chris. It was kind of gets in its own way.
Yeah.
Also, they're just super long games.
They are. They're incredible, and that's one thing that didn't change when they changed the gameplay direction. Those games got beefier. They got massive 150 hour affairs if you want to do a lot of what's offered in those games. The things that I point to in this game that I think were super important was this was the first game, unless I'm mistaken, I think this was the first game to introduce naval combat.
It was, yeah. Yep. Which, I mean, that carries forward to today. Like, there's a game that's still in development at Ubisoft called Skull and Bones.
Potentially.
They had an update like last week on it.
Did they finally?
So,
okay, because
yes,
that game has been in development hell for years.
It is slated for 2022 right now, I think is what's going on. But it is like the purely naval combat thing that had come out of Assassin's Creed 3. And then very
iterated
popular
on
in Black Flag.
Yep.
And then they've kind of kept working with a little bit, but yeah, Skull and Bones was supposed to be an Assassin's Creed game. It is no longer. Anyways, sorry.
This game also has 4 exclusive missions tied to the PS3 and PC platforms, which I also thought was interesting because the storyline is based loosely around Benedict Arnold, which is that'd be a fun story to explore in a video game.
Sure.
And it's just to me, that's a pretty tremendous bonus for fans of the game to be able to play that on PS3.
I just think when you're working with the storyline of thousands of year old like war between aliens, and then you're like dealing with real history stuff. I think I'm more interested in the crazy alien war.
Are you? Okay. I've always been more interested in how they mess with historical figures and how they kind of represent this alternative history.
Yeah.
Like the George Washington DLC, which I don't know much about, but I know he looks like a bad guy. He looks mean. Is that right? Is he a mean guy?
I don't know.
He looks bad. And I'm like, ooh, what did you guys do?
Maybe.
So I see that and I was like, it seems like a fun one. Now it's not real. Like it's not real history.
It's not
this
real.
Is not how you should take your history lessons.
You're saying this isn't historically accurate.
I'm saying this isn't historically accurate. No, but I love the idea of taking historical figures and fictionalizing aspects of who they are and what they are.
Are you saying Leonardo da Vinci can't be my own personal gadget maker?
Listen.
Let's not limit you, John.
No, I'm not saying that. I think he could be. I
can't do this anymore.
With the so it was the largest. This was the largest Assassin's Creed title they had tackled.
Yeah, and
by a significant margin.
It was a jump to a new engine.
Ubisoft
so like
Anvil next.
Yeah, so it was something that was built really for the next generation, for like your PlayStation 4, your Xbox One, but they were using it early on the 360 and PlayStation 3, which like isn't necessarily a bad thing. You got to get used to those tools and see if it runs. But there were some performance issues with it, and some bugs and glitches. But also, every Assassin's Creed has their bugs and glitches.
Now you mentioned too. You mentioned the review that Game Informer gave it. So there are games that go, I guess, one of potentially 3 directions. They get their initial rating, or their initial review score, and all that stuff, and then people get a chance to look at it and analyze it and play it, and those think it could do one of 3 things. It can the overall reception can be more impressive than the review score. It can be less impressive, or it can be about the same. This is one of those games where the 9.5. And I just call that one out because you called it specifically. Metacritic. I don't know if I have. Okay, here's a good example. The Xbox 360 version sits at an 84 on Metacritic. The user score sits at a 6.8. So Okay. More telling advice, or more telling, I guess, evidence would say that Game Informer gave it a 9.5. Again, individual reviewer, we talked about this earlier. However,
Right.
Game
I mean,
Informer also posted a top Assassin's Creed's list,
yeah.
and I think it was 12 long, and number 12 is Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. I hope I'm saying that right. I think that is the subtitle for the
That's
PS.
yeah. That's like that's like a DLC.
I think it's the PS Vita or
yes,
PS Vita version.
Yes.
And then number 11 is Assassin's Creed 3. So the two Assassin's Creed 3 titles are at the bottom of that list. But it just goes to show
that's like so we've been doing weekly like top 10 lists of like these are like of a specific genre. These are the games that you should play from the genre right now. And so when we're discussing what to put on the list, like I've been in charge of like the fighting game list and the puzzle game list, and I feel like another list in there as well. But there have been times where someone will bring up like, oh, this game got like we gave this game like a 6. I'm like, well, like this game has changed a lot over time. Other people have different impressions of this game. There's a lot of different context that you need to put into it, and really like since we do link our reviews for all these games, it's like we kind of have to put that context into the text as well.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But that being said, I think maybe we're all of the same belief. I can't criticize it because I haven't played it.
I haven't played this game.
You haven't played it either?
Okay. I've maybe played like 20 minutes like a decade ago. So.
Okay. So from our perspective as people that have kind of researched a little bit about the game, knowing what we know about it, those initial scores may be a little high.
It depends on the person. Like, I don't know, like what. Now we're getting into like some nitty gritty of reviewing stuff.
So the point that I'm trying to make is that, again, there's a lot of reasons why this could happen, but this game came out, an opinion was formulated in the aspect of review scores and all that stuff. And as more people had a chance to cling on to it, more people had a chance to play it. It seems like the overwhelming opinion, the larger opinion, not the more significant opinion. I'm not saying that. It just seems that the general consensus tends to trend quite a bit lower than maybe where those initial review scores landed, that initial impression landed.
And that's kind of what this game is remembered for, is like it's kind of big, it's kind of bloated. It's kind of a mess thematically. And when you look at like the games that came after it, your Black Flags, your Rogue, Syndicate, like they are much better versions of what this game is, or what this game started out to make, as like the next generation of Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, I think another telling thing, and I don't have the list in front of me, but I actually don't even think I have the original writer. Do you know the writer off the top of your head?
The creative director, Alex Hutchinson.
Hutchinson, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Even he, when they announced a remaster for the game, and he even chimed in on Twitter and was like, "These are the things that I would fix." So when it comes from the person who kind of created it in the first place, now you can always look back at your own work and be like, I should have done these things better. But even he had criticisms of that he was willing to share. We should have done this better. He respected the community's opinions and things like that. So this is it's a malign title, I would say, within Assassin's Creed. Probably maybe the most maligned as it relates to there's I guess from an overall perspective. I know, was it Unity? That had just nightmarish issues at launch and
still kind of does. Like it's fun watching whenever new console hardware comes out and Digital Foundry can test Unity on it. Like there's there's multiple versions of it. Like the original like unpatched version of that game runs at an unlocked frame rate, so you can kind of like gauge how the hardware runs with it. And like finally, these new consoles were able to like run that game at 60 just fine.
Kind of like what they do with the Crysis.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, oh, like all these things were like maybe not like the most optimized, but like they are like the best benchmarks for like brute forcing
Okay.
through a game. So also Unity looks really good still on like current hardware, which is very interesting. Courtney, you have some
yes,
let's get
exactly
back.
where I was going
Let's
next.
get back to this. You have some gripes with
I was reading
Assassin's
through
Creed as a whole.
Well, as a whole, I mean, it's honestly, it's the video game industry as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not isolated to this. So I'm reading through like the description of the gameplay and the story and the characters and the playable characters, and there was no option to play a female character at all. So I looked around a little bit, and apparently it was an issue at the time. There were people that complained about it. They've been waiting for an Assassin's Creed playable female character at this point.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft's excuses were, it was too hard to create a playable female character. Was some of it. There was an article where they talked about, well, they considered it for this, but for some other reasons they just decided not to do it. And the person who wrote the article was very much of the opinion, like, you should be encouraged that they were considering it. This is fantastic. But no.
No.
I can tell you all day long I'm considering something. That doesn't mean I'm actually going to do it ever. And then the one article that really got me, it was Alex Hutchinson, the creative director, talking about why there wasn't a playable female lead in the game. And he chalked it up to the fact that it was set in the American Revolution. I'm going to go back to reading off the original description that this is a fictional historical storyline. Right. But he said, in this period, it's been a bit of a pain. The history of the American Revolution is the history of men. That makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
And he went on and said it felt like if you had all these men in every scene and a female assassin is secretly, stealthily in crowds of dudes, it starts to feel kind of wrong. People would stop believing it.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Between that quote and one of the games we covered last week, I'm afraid Courtney's not going to hang out with us anymore.
Hey,
you guys are killing me. Killing me.
Hey, we are in 100% agreement with her.
Like, yeah, no, I 100% agree.
Garbage. It's a garbage excuse.
Yeah, that is aggressively stupid. To take that stance. I don't care what the time period is. I don't care. I don't care what the video game culture and stuff is. That's you go on the record with making a quote like that, you're an idiot. I'm okay saying that. I try not to maybe make such strong opinions about people that have worked on video games and stuff. I try to paint these things in a more positive light, but there's only so much I can do with something like that. That's I don't know who you were trying to convince when you make a quote like that. Seems like you're trying to convince yourself more than anyone.
This is the same studio that for Assassin's Creed Unity, which had 4, is a multiplayer game where you could have 4 assassins. They were all like the same character, I guess, technically, which is very odd. But like none of them were women. You couldn't make them a woman. And someone said it's the reality of production. It doubles the animations, it doubles the voices and all that stuff, and double the visual assets. They have thousands of people working on these games.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be that much more. I mean, obviously games are hard work and there's a lot that goes into them, but the manpower is definitely there to take care of that. If you have
The person power.
if you have 8 studios working on like little details in the world, you could probably hire people to work on another, like, which like they since then they now have multiple main characters. You could have a man or a woman as your Viking assassin or your Egyptian. Oh no, Origins didn't have a woman assassin.
I think it might have.
I don't think it did. I feel
We've
like
got to find out.
Odyssey was the first one where you could like interchange them. Syndicate had 2. They were brother and sister. Yeah, like Syndicate was them proving that they could. Which was everyone just kind of shoved it in their face.
Well, it also went down a rabbit hole of a very toxic culture within Ubisoft and lawsuits and sexual harassment claims that weren't being dealt with and all that kind of garbage. So
yeah,
not
also,
a lot of good feels going on.
That was around the time of like Gamergate stuff and men generally being real trashy online to women. I mean, that it's just since the dawn of the internet has been the thing.
And you are right. Sorry, it was just the Bayek is the only playable character in Origins. But yeah, you have a very justified way of feeling, I would say. We all do. It's not because
it's not
you're
justified.
female.
It's just right. Like,
right. Yes.
It's just hands down.
Yeah. We should. It's again. They've taken steps in rectifying this going forward. They were right to receive the criticism they did. They're right to continue to receive the criticism they are receiving.
Yeah.
That should not stop.
No.
But
fix your work culture, Ubisoft.
Yes. Yes. It feels like as a whole the industry is recognizing its shortcomings. It is not perfect. It is getting better. I do believe that. There are going to be gaps. I am still shocked that we hear the stories that we hear coming from places like Activision, coming from places like Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll stop hearing those. I think we'll continue to get accounts as people begin to continue to feel empowered to share these stories.
It's as like obviously these situations are awful for like the working conditions and everything, but like it's good that we are actually hearing these stories. It sucks that it had to be the state of California that forced the issue on Activision to get the ball rolling on all of the changes that are happening there with the lawsuit that was filed back in July.
Mm-hmm.
But people are taking it like on their own accord to bring these topics up publicly.
Yeah.
And call people out. And that's good. It's not good that the people are acting the way that they are. It's not good that people make excuses for basic representation. But we are moving forward, and I think the industry is getting better at it. It is slower. Even one little thing of like representation and accessibility that I've noticed in the last month was I've had multiple games where I've booted up and it had like the verbal menu cues, like Forza had it,
like your pronouns selection and stuff.
No, like you boot it up and it's like press the start button to blah blah blah. Like it actually like vocalize that to you.
So you're talking like actual accessibility,
accessibility stuff.
Okay.
Like that kind of stuff is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like seeing like customizable characters where you could put prosthetics on yourself to make yourself closer to who you want or who you are in real life if you want to be that. Like having women in games is the most basic form of all of that kind of stuff. It's kind of the domino that tipped to get all of this stuff rolling, I think. So I like, it's good. I know we kind of spiraled from a few different topics there, but it's
Right.
it's all
Sorry.
related, I swear. No, it's also me just rambling about this stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's not something
there's-
we've ever talked about on the show. It's
there's stuff that me as an able-bodied cis white male, I'm not going to notice the things that are necessarily missing from games, and it's good that people speak up. Or I'm not going to notice the things that are going wrong in the working lives of people making games, unless people speak up about those things. And I think it's just good for anybody who sees a wrong or sees something that they want to see fixed to bring it up. And it's even better for people to listen to those things and not take it lightly and not shrug it off immediately. Because if you think of things rationally, you're going to see the use case for it.
Mhm.
So
yeah, and we've never. I don't think we've ever covered this topic on the show, anyways. So if you're ever wondering what we thought about it, there you go. I'm glad to share it, and
let everyone play games. Damn it!
let everyone play games. Let everyone be in games. Represent.
Let
people
everyone
in
make
games. And if John kind of hit on it, like those people don't always feel the safest to be able to share their thoughts and share their opinions. Yeah. The more we talk about this, the more we who are not part of those more marginalized communities or those of us who haven't experienced that kind of abuse and harassment, the more we talk about it, the more we give people a platform to stand on and talk about their experiences, the easier it will be for them and the more we can push change. Yeah. I believe that 100%. So.
And I will say 2 of the games that had that, like the visually impaired accessibility stuff, like on by default, were Ubisoft games. It was Riders Republic and it was Far Cry 6. So like, I couldn't imagine like booting up a game and not knowing where to go in menus to turn that stuff on and not having the capabilities to like see or hear certain things. To adjust that. I would rather be able to just turn that off than have someone not be able to turn that on.
Right. It's like in a much smaller scale, insignificant scale. Yeah. If I play a game that doesn't allow me to invert the controllers, I mean,
you're just a monster.
Invert up and down because I play inverted. I don't play that game.
No, that's where I draw the line. Chris,
like I literally walk away from the game because I like that. I can't play that way. So imagine that's something like
imagine
that's something
like
I could.
The most basic thing though. It's like
I could get through that. If you can't play a game because of something that's preventing you from being able to do so of a grander scale, then I can't invert my up and down. Like that's that's a basic right that everybody should be able to enjoy.
Anyways, Assassin's Creed 3.
Yes.
It's a game that came out 15 years ago ish.
That's right.
10 years ago.
Now we are going a little long now. We were making a really good time, but we slowed down a little bit for a good reason. I think we had a good talk there. You guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
All right. We got another game in store. It's going to be similar to what we've done.
I am a trivia champion. So
you are actually, yes. We covered
Courtney,
in the beginning of the show. You guys are both trivia champions. I'm the only one who's never flexed my brain muscle.
That's fine. Watch and learn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the smack talking.
Watch Courtney be smarter than I am at whatever this is going to be.
Yes. I think nervous. like series wise, I think with the 2 games we played, I think it's 1-1.
It is 1-1.
Yep. So let's make sure that enters the permanent record books. We're doing a tiebreaker here. We're trying to see who takes the lead. We'll probably do this again. So I'm assuming this is not the last time we'll do this. But what we're going to be doing is you are going to tell me if it is a Ubisoft Montreal game. Okay.
Yeah.
Ubisoft
got
Montreal.
Are there French people in it? Would I hear a duo?
Now, I don't remember what you guys wanted to do before, so let me know now. Do you want to know how many? You'd rather
No.
go in blind and not
rather
know
go in
how many
blind.
yes or no's.
Correct.
Okay.
If you're going to tell me that there's like 6 Montreals and 4 not, I don't want to know.
You don't want to. Okay.
I don't like that.
And
I
and
just
Courtney,
like-
I think
yours
we
is
agreed.
same?
Yeah, I think we agreed on that last time because otherwise, if you tell us the number, I'm just gonna like go with whatever the
You're
higher
gonna
number is
fixate on
and say
that. It's
for
gonna wreck your whole
everything.
vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would rather
Can't
just
do
know
it.
that it's a 50-50 choice.
Okay.
That's all I need to know.
Cool.
is
Then
that
that is
there's-
all I'll tell you. Let's jump into game number 1.
Mhm.
Our very first game.
Assassin's Creed 3.
No, it is not that. Our very first game is a game called Bounce the Sing-Along.
No.
I'm also going no.
All right.
Bounce the signal.
Our second game is Riders Republic.
Yes.
Yes. I'm upset he said it first.
Yes. It's pronounced if it's from Montreal, it's Riders Republique.
Ah, okay.
Oh gosh.
Or Riders Republique.
If our host could say the games correctly, it would
Yeah, if you
improve my
could.
experience here.
Good to know. Good to know.
A little-
I will do better.
Could you do a little bit of French Canadian accessibility for me
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
on this Montreal?
I know. I'm going to offend a lot of people.
Can you pronounce the real name of the Montreal studio, please?
It is Ubisoft Divertissements.
Yeah, sure. It's
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
probably a divertissement.
Anyway, our third game
I took 4 years of French.
is
Just
For
skip
Honor.
it. Yes.
No.
I was only going for speed.
I feel like that is a yes. I'm trying to think if there's another Canadian Ubisoft team.
All
Like a
right.
Toronto.
Our fourth game, Batman Rise of Sin Tzu.
I'm gonna go yes. We're diverging.
John.
Are you locking that answer in? You have to. I
Yeah,
wrote it down.
I'll lock it. Yeah, I'll lock it.
Wait,
Good.
there's a lock-in phase?
Yeah,
It's you
it's
saying
once
it.
the pencil hits the paper, even though I have an eraser.
It's his brain cells firing that we said something. Oh yeah, all right.
Our fifth game, I think we're on 5. 5? Yes, our fifth
Yeah,
game is Laura's Happy Adventures.
I mean, you would have pronounced that properly if it was a Montreal game.
Laura's
So no.
Happy Adventures. John, you said no.
I said no. Yeah, what if she has sad adventures?
What? Sorry.
So what
I'm
if she had
having to
sad
focus
adventures?
remarkably hard on this score. I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty. Our sixth game, Assassin's Creed 2.
Yes.
No.
Damn it.
Shoot, that's tough. Actually, I'm still going. I'll say no, but I think Courtney's right. Let's just mark that down. John thinks Courtney's right on Assassin's Creed 2, but
John is
he
saying
went
no
with the
with
other.
an asterisk.
Yeah.
Our
No points will be
Wait, what are we
awarded,
on?
and we are all dumber for hearing me talk about it.
Our seventh game, Far Cry 4.
No.
Also, no.
John, you've had a lot of no's.
Oh, she's getting in his head now. I'd love to see it.
A lot of no's.
So have you?
No, not as many as you.
Yeah, see,
Our eighth game,
Courtney.
Top Banana.
Oh, hell
God,
yes.
I hope so. That sounds like a Canadian game.
So we got 2 yeses.
Oh yeah.
All right.
The top part or the banana part? Which part
Oh,
gave it
yeah.
away?
All right. Our 9th game, Daymare 1998.
No.
Fighter of the Nightmare. Champion of the Sun. All right. Master of Karate and Friendship
No.
for everyone.
I don't know
Daymare.
what's happening. I'm going to need an answer out of you, John.
Yes.
And our last game,
Chris, I have a show for you to watch.
I feel
I'm really
like
sad
I
he
just
didn't pick up on
experienced the
that.
entire thing.
It's just one episode, baby.
Our last game, Trials Rising.
Yes.
No. That's Red Links, baby.
Oh,
All right.
you actually knew that one.
This one was
They
exciting.
make all the trials.
This one was exciting. Ooh, all right. You guys ready?
Yes.
Our
so
first
nervous
game.
right now.
Bounce, the sing-along. John, you said no. Courtney, you said no. The answer was no.
Yay.
That game
Is this
was
an actual game?
That game was completely made up off the old noggin.
I am really sad
Sounded
because
good,
when
though.
I heard that name, I thought I'd like to see what that game is.
I've never
know,
heard
right?
that.
Bounce
That's gotta
the
be.
sing-along.
I'm like, that has to be a deep cut, real deep cut.
Okay, so we were after 1, it is 1-1.
Yeah.
Our second game, Riders Republic.
Mm-hmm.
You both said yes. The answer is no.
Oh.
Made by Ubisoft SRL.
Edmonton. Oh, SRI. Oh,
Are they
the
in
same
Montreal?
as Milestone.
I think that's the Spain one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like Spain. Also, there's like 8 different Ubisoft logos at the beginning. Like these are all yeses in some way, except for the ones that you make up.
No, I'm sorry, that's not true.
Like core development.
After 2, it is still 1-1.
Yeah.
Our third game, For Honor. John, you said no.
I said no.
Courtney, you said yes.
I said yes.
The answer is yes. Courtney takes a lead, 2-1.
It's not
One
gonna
of the
last.
best fighting games in the last decade, probably.
You know, something about yeah, I don't know. I believe you. I'll just go with that. Let's just. I'm not even gonna,
3D fighting games.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna fight. You know, if it's probably the most likely fighting game I'll play, but I'm still not gonna play it.
Never played For Honor?
Oh no, I've played it. I think there was like a beta
Okay.
or something that I jumped into, and I was like, nah, this isn't a me game. Nope. Our fourth game was Batman: Rise of Sin Tzu.
Yeah.
John, you said yes. Courtney, you said no. It is yes.
Oh, okay. I like it. That was before Warner Brothers had their own game division.
Batman
So-
failed me.
After 4, we are tied 2-2. Our fifth game, Laura's Happy Adventures. John, you said no. Courtney, you said no. The answer is yes.
Oh my god.
Released on the Windows, but released on Windows. By the way, Rise of Sin Tzu was released on GameCube, PS2, and Xbox.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I was
after
hoping that was another title
That
you
sounds
made up.
right.
Right? That one felt like a title I would have made up, but it was real.
Yeah.
So that's after 5. We are still tied 2-2. Assassin's Creed 2. I thought for sure this was a freebie, but John,
Yeah.
you said no.
I know.
Courtney, you said yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, it's just
Woohoo!
yes. This is the one that I said mark down.
This was the asterisk. So John had all of his bases covered. It could be yes or no, is what he really said. So Courtney takes the lead 3-2 on
It's like, of course they made 1, 2, and 3. They
the
are the main.
softball.
They are the main studio.
John had a game-winning layup and he chucked it over the backboard.
That's fine.
Um,
Like I said, Courtney's smarter than me.
I'm not.
Our
So not.
seventh game, Far Cry 4. John, you said, what did you say? John, you said no.
No.
Courtney, you said no. Yes, is the answer.
Gosh.
What?
Yep, Far Cry 4 is Ubisoft
Black Flag?
Montreal. No, Far Cry 4.
Oh, sorry, Far Cry. Oh, I was thinking Assassin's Creed 4.
No.
If I was if I was in my right mind, the creative director on this is the same as Far Cry 4.
Well,
Ubisoft has created it just turned my brain to mush.
got it.
Is what's happening.
You did say that you have a big week ahead of you. Or you have a lot going on.
I've had there's a lot.
John has nothing but big weeks.
It is, yeah. So it is still Courtney up 2-3 with 3 questions left. Game number 8. Top banana. John, you said yes.
Yes.
Courtney, you said yes.
Did you make this up?
I didn't make it up, but it's not a Ubisoft Montreal game. It is made by Hex, and it is on the Acorn 32-bit.
Hell yeah! I thought this was like an XBLA game. Oh, that's Hail to the Chimp, which is a party game where you play as apes.
Game number 9, Daymare, 1998. John, you said yes. Courtney, you said no. So we could go one of two ways. We could be tied going into number 10, or we could have a victor. This is a lot of stress. The answer is no.
Oh.
Made by Invader Studios. Courtney is our big winner.
Woo!
I will say, though, John, you tried with number 10, Trials Rising.
Yeah.
John, you said no. Courtney, you said yes. The answer was no. That is made by Ubisoft Kiev.
It's not Red Links? Did they change their name?
They might have multiple names that they go by. I don't know, but it was the Kiev studio, and it might comprise their multiple things.
Yeah,
Courtney takes a commanding 2-1 trivia lead on this very sporadic game that we play every once in a while.
I don't know that I really want a Ubisoft title, though. I'm just gonna a
single one.
Well,
just gonna be because all right.
That's fair.
I'm gonna stick with Konami Queen.
That
one felt a little bit better.
Oh, yes, okay. Yes. I thought you were just boycotting Ubisoft as a whole.
Like you didn't want to take the win whatsoever. That's fair.
And I'm going to again point out that these games have nothing to do with being smart, because clearly John can rattle off all of these ridiculous details about just about any game made, and he's not reading them off of some screen. He just knows this stuff.
My brain is just dumb like that.
But let's before we give John too much credit here, let's also make sure that we understand that he referenced multiple times that Assassin's Creed 3 began being developed after they had wrapped up development on Assassin's Creed 2. Let's be clear that conversation happened tonight. So
I just meant Ubisoft in general.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wasn't pointing at specific.
That was a good one. Okay. That was a good quiz.
Now, if you want to play this game, Assassin's Creed Anthology is a thing that exists.
I think you meant the trivia game.
Not this game. You already know the answers. That's not fair.
Rewind it, forget the answers.
We're packaging
play with a friend.
So you can play at home.
And then Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered exists as well. That would probably be the more definitive way to play it these days.
What if it was Assassin's 3 and it was set in the Earthbound world? You
would have maybe the most epic crossover in the history of mankind.
There's a lot of... You'd have all the zombies. You'd have Master Belch.
Mm-hmm.
The big the circus tent that's haunted.
Yep.
You have to use your jar of fly honey or whatever it is. I know my Earthbounds.
You do. It's your favorite game of all time, and I've played through it recently. And half of those references wouldn't have made sense 2 months ago.
This is why I'm referencing it.
Yes,
now.
Yes, I knew everything that you said, whereas I wouldn't have a couple months ago. Well, thank you guys for coming with us on that little trip.
Welcome.
If you guys want to chime in, have some say in how things go around here ask us some questions, be a part of the show, please, please, please do. Check us out at patreon.com/procedurally generated. Shoot us a tweet at Twitter. I'm sorry, not at Twitter. Don't do that. They won't. They'll ignore you. They're too big. Do at PG_show. That'll get you in contact with us. Send us an email at pgshowinbox@gmail.com. Follow the link below to get to our Discord. We'd love to have you in there. The Discord functions as our streaming headquarters, also our podcast headquarters, obviously. And if you're into programming, I would invite you to come along as well. We've got a lot of really smart people in there, helpful people, trying to help people solve problems. We'd love to have you in there for that as well. Check out our TikTok at PG_podcast. Lots of stuff up there. Hopefully more stuff coming soon. And then you can check us all out on Twitch. I'm CW719. John is John Carson Games. And Courtney is Mecha Sprite. Real quick, we got to thank our patrons.
Yeah, and while you're pulling that up, I just want to apologize for everyone for last week and the lack of sound effects that came through.
The sound effects didn't work. Oh, sad
they
times.
did not show up. Yeah.
Oh,
very sad.
Boy, then that was a real awkward minute or so, huh?
The sound effects were great, and I'm really sad you guys missed out on them.
It was like the baseball charge sound. It was
man.
drums. There was a dramatic piano.
Boy, I bet we sounded like doofuses.
Probably, and I did not do anything to fix that. So,
hey, listen,
you're welcome, and I'm sorry.
Nope. That's you know what? We learn. We grow from this experience. Here are the patrons. We want to say thank you to them right now. You just blew the baseball sound. You guys will have no idea how annoying and frustrating that is.
I deleted the baseball sound. It is gone.
Our 1 platinum supporter, Mecha Sprite.
Yay!
Thank you.
There's my sound effect.
There you go.
Thanks, Courtney.
We have 2 gold supporters, Coda and XGen. Coda was one of the people that surprised me over the weekend. Thank you for that awesome surprise, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you. And XGen, thank you as well. Our silver supporters, Cassidy, Catherine, and Tim. And then our bronze supporters, Ozzy, Brandon, Jason, John, and John. I'll let you figure out which John you were, John. Yeah.
Neither. I backed out of my subscription.
Aha, joke's on you because you're still getting charged.
Joke's on you. I lied.
All right, guys, that's all I've got. My one last ask is that you leave us a positive review. Share this show with your friends. I check every once in a while. There's a website where we can check podcast charts. And my gosh, it would be my dream to just see Procedurally Generated show up on that video game list at some point. There's a lot of video game podcasts, to be fair. So for you guys taking the time to listen to this, that means the world to us as well, because you could be spending your time doing any other thing. But we've had some really positive feedback. I know a lot of you guys really enjoy this show, and we would love to spread it to some more people. So,
also, I've noticed we're doing something a little bit backwards this week. We still have to rank these games.
Oh my God, the game completely. Oh geez. Oh God. All right.
You throw a trivia in there and really just messes with the flow.
Oh man.
I'll go first this time.
Perfect.
So my number 2 this week is probably going to be. It's probably Gunbird.
Your number 2 is Gunbird.
Might be a pretty cool shmup to check out. I want to see what those stories are like. And I can play it on Switch, so that seems neat.
There you go,
Courtney. What's your number 2 this week, Courtney?
My number 2 is also Gunbird, so high five.
Yeah, hell yeah. Chris,
I don't really have good reasons, so
I can assume what your number 3 is. Chris.
So my number 2 is. I think my number 2 is going to be Glitch's Trip. Yep. Something about that art style, some of the bright flashing lights, that could keep my interest.
I forgot to mention, while we're going back to things that we forgot to talk about, on the developers' about page, like the About Us, like the very first line in there was talking about 2 friends who used to compete in Geometry Wars.
Oh, that's right. Yep. You were going to mention that.
So that probably explains why that art style is there, because they were very fond of that game. Lots of similar effects too. It's very cool. My number one this week. Everything's very close, but it just once again, it's a curiosity thing. I never played it. Is probably Assassin's Creed 3. I want to see if that game is as much of a mess as I remember people saying it is. Outside of reviews. Yeah, that's more professional curiosity than anything.
That's fair.
Courtney?
My number one game is Glitch. Bright
Yeah.
lights, fancy colors, probably not a game I'm super going to enjoy. But
better than the alternatives?
But it's better than the alternatives.
Hell yeah.
It looked kind of cute.
Yeah. Chris?
My number one is Gunbird.
Sick.
Yeah, I was digging kind of. I could get into a shoot 'em up for a while. I'm if it hits me right, I could probably finish the whole thing. I liked what I saw from it. Short, little, compact experience.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 3. The Assassin's Creed games have the early ones have never done anything for me. I am bored with them almost instantly, even though I'm so intrigued by what that story could be if it was told in a way that benefits storytelling. I just don't think that the way that's put together with the story and gameplay, I don't think they match up well. So there you go.
Fun thing about this week, all three of these games are playable on Switch.
True that. That is right. Yes.
So, all on a modern console.
That's
You
right.
fancy kids and your fancy Switches.
I mean,
that's right.
They are all
They're
all
not
playable
playable.
on PC.
They're not playable on Courtney's Switch
No,
because she
But
doesn't
on-
have a Switch yet.
but on the
I like that
the
you said yet.
personal computer.
Definitely yet, right?
Yeah.
We're breaking her down. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We will talk to you guys next week. Like I said, leave us a positive review. Share the show with your friends, and we'll come back with episode 32 next week.
See ya.